Already know who we are because we already talked about Harmony Spiritual Center, and we know what we're doing here. We are here to hear a message, to remind ourselves of what's possible, probable, what our lives can look like, because we know who we are. We are the I am. We are the God is. We can and create whatever we want. And today, I want to talk about joy. Joy in the everyday. And there's a Psalms that says, joy cometh in the morning. Joy cometh in the morning. And what that means is that no matter what you're going through, no matter what happens, joy is always right there, always ready, Spirit, to show you the way, for you to remember who you are, to claim something different. It's always available. So we don't have to worry about and go, oh my gosh, this is going to last forever. It doesn't. Joy cometh in the morning as soon as you claim it. So the last time I talked about letting loose the inner fire, like what sets your soul on fire. And Jim and I were talking about it in the car. We talk about a lot of stuff in the car on the way over and back home. And we talked about our next podcast. And he said, well, exactly where's that fire going to come from? So we're going to talk about that in our next podcast. If you don't listen to our podcast, go ahead and do yourself a favor and start listening to those because they're really wonderful. But when I'm talking about the inner fire last week, I'm talking about what sets your soul on fire. When do you bring the heat? Like what matters to you? And so it's going to be important that you understand that, because you turn the volume up on your life when you know what matters to you. And so there's clues all over that what your spiritual gifts are, and that the greatest life you can have is going to be one of a faith walk where you trust. And we talked about that this morning in class, but what that looks like. What does belief look like for you? What does faith look like for you? How do you step out? And it's an individual journey. We can talk about our examples of things and we can explain some stories that we have, but every one of us has to have our own relationship with Spirit. What does that look like? We were talking this morning about how we ask for things, how we say prayers, and what works for you. And so for some, it's saying what it is that we're looking to do. Some people actually get the opposite of what they've asked for. I don't want this, because you can't pray in the negative. So right? Because the moment you say, I don't want something, that's something that's coming, right? So we don't even bother with that. Just go ahead and say what it is that you want. When I pray, I'm pretty specific, because Spirit says to me, because I talk to Spirit all the time. I say something and like I want a car, and Spirit said, well, what kind of car? So I can't just say I want a car, because it could be a junker, who knows? And so Spirit said, all right, well, let's be clear. What do you want? What's going on here? What kind? What is it? And some people can just say that, I want a car, because it's already on their hearts and minds what it is they want. It wasn't in mine. It wasn't clear. So Spirit had to ask some clarifying questions. What are you talking about, girlfriend? What do you want? Okay? So that's what we know about why it's so important for us to know what sets our soul on fire and what we're about and what it is that we want. But today, we want to talk about joy in the everyday. In the everyday, as we're going about discovering the power of joy in our lives. So joy is not about being happy. Joy and happiness are two different things. Because we can be happy just that I woke up this morning. I'm happy about that. I woke up and I'm aware that I'm awake. I'm happy about that. I'm happy about my awareness, okay? But joy is a whole other thing. It's not happiness. It's that energetic vibration of knowing that our souls are aligned with the universal Spirit, that I am one with God. And so I'm in a place where whatever I ask for, whatever is going on in my life, however life is showing up, I know who I am, and I know who God is. I am. And so as I use those words, I am, I know that I'm bringing my life into fruition. I'm bringing it into being by using that. So there's joy in me understanding and knowing that energetic fire. And that's what joy is. It's an energetic fire of knowing who I am, whose I am, what's possible for me. And so I show up in all that I do with a lot of joy. And so, I was thinking about some stories of joy. It was difficult for me to kind of think about it because I'm kind of always happy. I'm always happy, which is different than joy. But the joy comes I'm going to tell you a couple of stories. Whenever my family and I, and some of you have been around me and my family, and you know what we're like. It's like you and your family, just loud and big and happy and joyous. But one of the things that happens when my family and I are out, we were going to celebrate, I can't remember what we celebrate, we're always celebrating things, so I can't remember what this particular celebration was about, but we decided to go to this restaurant, and they had different rooms, and we told them, we said, listen, we're going to come, family's coming, put us in the back room, furthest away as you possibly can, because we're going to be loud. So we don't want to be disruptive to the rest of the people that are in there, so put us as far back as you possibly can. Oh, okay, it's going to be fine. Sure. If you put us in the back, it'll be fine. Yeah. So we get in there, and we're loud, and we're talking, and we're howling across, and all that kind of stuff. And other people are coming by, and we're invited. Hey, I like that, what you had on. What's going on there? Come here. It's not just me. It's the whole family, because we just love people, other people, because why? We see who you are. You are and I are one. My whole family sees that. We are one. We are one mind, one heart, one spirit, and we see it in you, whether you see it in yourself or not. But here's what happens. When you see that we see it, you know what we're seeing. Do you understand that? When you see what we're seeing in you, you understand what we're seeing. We're not seeing your physical body. We're seeing beyond that. I see beyond that. And that brings me joy. And that fire that's in you is in me as well. And that's what's touching each other. That's what joy is. The joy of knowing we are one. I relish you having the life you want. That's what I want for you, because it doesn't take from me. This is what people think, that if you get something, I won't be able to get it. There'll be less for me. Yes, I know. He's looking at me like, who thinks that? Yeah, some people do. That's why they're afraid of you getting things, because because life is a pie, and if you cut it, there's less pie. What they don't understand is the pie is not surrounded. There's no thing that's keeping it from continuing to grow. So you cut a piece out, and more is there. It's like the soul. There's no cutting away the soul. There's more. There's always more. And that's what happens as you're around and with other people. You can see the truth of them. That brings me joy. That's what joy means to me. Is being around people and acknowledging, whether I say it or I don't, just because I see it. And they can see what I see. That's how energy works. That's how God works. I'm looking at the God in you, and you know what I'm seeing. And you're like, a lot of people say, well, how's she seeing that? Because it's the truth. Because it's always the truth. And knowing who you are, you get to do that everywhere you go. And that is joyous for me. I remember, and I've told you guys this story before, but I'll tell it again because I love it. It's one of my favorite stories. When I was working for Continental Airlines, and they had a store, Continental store, and you just go in there and get Continental crap. Just, little airplanes and little hats with Continental all over, little logos and all that. So I'm in there, I'm just looking around to see what they got new, because of course I got most of the stuff anyway. But I'm just trying to see what they got new, And so I'm walking around, and I find a couple of things, and I walk up to the lady to pay for it, and I'm not kidding. She looked at me like, this is like the desk where she was, or the counter, and I'm over the counter. So she's right here, and she like steps back. Are you really that happy? Oh, wow. I swear. And I was like, what? What do you mean? What's going on? She goes, all this singing you're doing. And I said, oh, am I singing? I didn't even know I was singing. I was just so happy. I'm just walking around, just being myself. And so I just looked at it and I just thought, yeah, I am happy. How you doing? Obviously pissed off at me. But that's how it is. You just show up as you. And even after after she said that, and then we were just kind of standing there, she was taking my money and things like that, she calmed on down because I was just talking to her. I said, well, what are you doing there? What do you guys got new? And I just started asking her. So I kind of a couple of things. What do you guys got new in here? What's going on? And then oh, okay. So she saw it wasn't just I don't know what she thought I was doing. But the truth of who I am, the truth of who you are, shows up when you show up. Did you understand that? You just show up as you. It doesn't matter what people might think. Who cares? When my family and I go out, I can't tell you the number of people who want to join us because we're having a good time, and it's not just us. It's not like we're blocking it off. We're looking and waving and, hey, come here, and oh, I love that dress you have on, and noticing other people. Why? Because it brings us joy. It brings us joy. Other people and their God self brings us joy. Do you know that? So when you're out and about with other people, that's what's joyous. Other people. Other individualized expressions of God. And when you realize that, even when you go to Walmart, you can have a good time. Everybody, when I walk in there, it's like, hey, how you doing today? Hey, girl, how you doing? And, seriously, on the way in, on the way out, other people asking about things like, what is this you're buying? Oh, well, this is what I use. What do you use it for? And just chit-chatting. And other people are like, do you know these people? I do now. What does it take to know somebody? What does it take to know somebody? So you just joy in the everyday. Why? Because do you have tomorrow? You don't. You don't know. I'm hoping that I do. But if I don't, I won't know it. All I know about is this moment, right? Right now. This is all we know, is this moment right now. And so what do you want to do with this moment? Do you want to be joyous and live it fully and be surrounded by people that are joyous like you? And what does it take to make other people? Do you know other people just want to be loved? That's all everybody wants. That's all anybody really wants. Even if they have a look on their face like the woman was looking at me crazy, but it's just because she didn't understand, how could I be happy? When she was in this room and she didn't understand how to be happy, and I just talked with her and just said, hey, you got great stuff in here. What else is going on up in here? And just talk. Just talk. So it's important that you know what brings you joy, and you continue to show up as your joyous self in the everyday, because there's something to be joyous about every single day. I can't tell you how many, they're not miracles. I don't want to say they're miracles because it's really just everyday God. But if you look for it, if you have your eyes and your heart open for the joy, there's always joy. At the gas station, when I'm just pumping gas, I'm talking to somebody else, or they're talking to me. I was walking through Costco. And I had an outfit like this that had the sleeves going. And the woman was, oh, I love that. Do you know where you got it from? Girl, I do not. I don't remember. I've had this such a long time, but I got many of them. I said, so we just going on talking and just go. And I love your glasses. Like, where'd you get those? Just going on and on. What does it take? She had the personality, the joy to speak to me. That's all. She just spoke to me. What does it take to notice someone else and tell them what you noticed? I love that smile you have going on. I love those glasses. Just that little right there that says you notice somebody. That brings me joy. That brings me joy. What brings you joy? I don't know. That's your question. That's the question I'm asking you. I'm asking you to consider it because it matters. Because you show up as joy. That's all we have is this day, this moment. Why would you do anything else? Why would you do anything else? And the thing is, we just have to think about it, that's all. We just have to think about it. So, and just one other story I wanted to tell you, just because I do this a lot with I talk with my family a lot because there's a lot of joy there. And it always has been, I don't know. I think it's just my mom and dad, just how they raised us. And because we were traveling a lot, and they said we had to take care of each other. We had to be, and not take care of each other in terms of being a tribe, like keeping everybody else out, but just always being nice to each other, and that kind of thing. And so that just kind of spread. And they were examples for us. They always had, because as we traveled, they always met new people, always invited people to our homes, always opened their doors, cooked, and all this sort of thing. So my sister, Chef E, is a chef, and So last weekend, it was last weekend, I was at this nice catering thing with her, and I get to meet a lot of great people and eat some great food and all that kind of thing. And I was just trying to think about, why is it that I love to go? Because I'm with my family, so we have a lot of fun just cooking and helping each other and all that sort of thing. But I also have fun with the people who are coming through the line. And so I was looking at that and thinking, what's going on when people come through the line? Well, I don't know. Just as soon as somebody comes through, we just start messing with them. Just start playing with them. Like, what do you want? Do you want some of this? Do you want some of this? You like somebody needs both of them. Do you want both of these? Do you need 2, 3 pieces of meat? What do you need? Here, try. Oh, girl, you got to try this. This tastes just like my mom made. I know, because Chef E is great. And and so everybody that comes through, we have something great to say to them, something fun. They have something fun to say to us. And that is a great time, just serving food. That's all we're doing. But it's more than that, because everything you're doing is more than that. If you are engaging other people and you are a person yourself, and it's your life, why not make it more? Why not have joy in the everyday things that you do? It's so easy to do that. And it enhances, I believe, it enhances your life. It enhances other people's lives. What else are we here to do? So, final quote, or my final point is just live your life fully, out loud, smelling the roses, just filling your life with whatever joy means to you, and feeling this ever-present energy that is God, that is you, and that is everyone you come in contact with. We're all the same. We're all God. And so just say hi to God whenever you see God, and that's everywhere you go. Final quote, joy is the holy fire that keeps our purpose, the reason we're here, warm, and our intelligence aglow. Joy doesn't happen when we're manipulating things and taking time to achieve joy. That's not what it happens. Joy, it just bursts upon our lives. You look back on your life, you think, man, that was a joyous time. That was joyous, not just happy, joyous. So, you know what brings you joy. You know that. I'm asking you to think about it and just bring it to the forefront and strive to be more joyful and notice the joy in your life more. The more that you notice it, the more you'll have it. The more the people around you will have it. You're not doing it for them. That's just a bonus. It's just a bonus, just a bonus. So live out loud. Live full of joy and know your God self and the God in everyone else as you move around this earth, this world, every single day. And so it is. Thank you.